whole topic about today is how can you make your business more popular than Netflix? All right, welcome back. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch another one of my YouTube videos. I'm always trying to put out content on different things that I see that business owners in the fitness space are just making mistakes on. I just want to bring some things to their awareness in these videos, and I appreciate you coming back again to watch another one. So this one's going to be one of my favorites. Super excited about this one to talk about. I know it's kind of a fun, catchy title, but there is some real substance to it. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can indeed make your business more popular than a Netflix series, which is pretty crazy to think about. So I don't want to waste your time. As always, I like to get into things and get things moving. So stay tuned. So first things first, what am I talking about? And I kind of explained it, but really, truly, how can we make your business more popular, more watched than a Netflix show? And it's crazy because Netflix is this multi-billion-dollar business, right? It completely took out Blockbuster. It's just very well represented now in Hollywood. A lot of big-time actors are really jumping on the bandwagon, and it's really scaling. It has an amazing business model, and it has a ton of people that just love to binge watch Netflix series. And they're constantly coming out, and they're super popular. It seems like they're constantly coming out with a new show that just captures everyone's attention nationwide. And as you would imagine, they have a ton of shows on there that get watched a lot, right? And they're long shows. A lot of them will take you a ton of time to get through, but they're amazing, and that's why it's so popular. So how can we beat that, right? In this video, really what I'm talking about is how can we have more hours consumed of our content than versus a Netflix show, which is a lot to ask, but it's possible. And I'm gonna show you how I mean that it's possible. So let's just run through how long it really takes to actually watch a lot of these Netflix shows. And I actually pulled out a couple different ones, some of the more popular ones, some that I've even seen that I enjoy personally. But I just want to show you how long these series are and how you can get more watch time than them. So Stranger Things, right? Super popular show. Everyone who's watched it seems to love Stranger Things. I can't describe it any more than that. It's really just strange things that happen to a group of kids in a community. But anyways, through season 2, and obviously they're adding more. Season 3 is coming out not too long, and I'm sure that they're going to keep expanding upon that, considering how popular the show is. If you were to watch up to date, it would take you about 14 hours and 10 minutes to get to that point, right? That's a decent chunk of time, right? That maybe you could do in a weekend, maybe or a couple weeks, but it's possible, right, to do in a pretty short time span depending on your day-to-day life. Next show, a little bit longer, right? So this is Orange is the New Black. Never seen this show, but through season 6, and I assume they're coming out with a season 7, or maybe they're not, but either way, up to date on Netflix, it would take you 78 hours. It's a couple different days, right? A long time. It would probably take you a couple months to get through it, again depending on how much you like to binge watch TV. The last show is my personal favorite. I love The Office, and it is literally just under 100 hours. So I really wish they added an extra half hour just so it could be a round number, but also because I wish there was an extra half hour added, just because I wish that they would add to the show and bring it back. But 99.5 hours, right? Almost 100 hours to watch all the way through season 9. Just crazy, right? That's a lot of time. That's like over 4 days, right? It's crazy. But people do it routinely in a summer, in a semester, in a couple month time span. They will watch The Office all the way through, 100 hours of time. Crazy. So how do we beat them, right? That's a lot of time. How do we get more watch time than these shows? Well, I'm going to show you. So just before we get to that, what if you could have more, right? What if you could have more watch time and hours consumed of your content than a Netflix show, as popular as those are, right? Do you think that would benefit your business if you had more watch time than those shows? If you had people consuming your content a couple hours every single day, people are watching of your content? Do you think that would help your awareness, your rapport, your leads, your all those other things? I'm going to show you that they do. But just kind of think about that, right? Like, what would that amount of hours do for your business? Well, I want to show you one of the results. It's actually a case study, one of my clients, one of my favorite clients, and show you what they're doing right now and what we're executing for them. So let's take a look at this. So this is since January 1st to March 18th. Now this is being recorded on the 21st, but up until March 18th, the content that we put out, we have a series of different video ads, stuff like that, right? They've had 223 hours and counting of minutes viewed, hours viewed on Facebook, right? In Instagram and a few different, distribution channels, but this is mostly just like Facebook data, right? Like Facebook, Instagram, but like majority of our stuff's on Facebook. So 223 hours of content consumed. It's not by one person, but it still is 223 hours of people's time within the right radius of their business, interested in their business, right? So, I don't know if I've touched on this in other videos and stuff, but it also depends on how much you know about Facebook. But basically, you can target by location and by interests and by a whole different series of things, right? So basically what I'm just telling you is this is 220 plus hours of people who fit the criteria of people that we want to advertise and market to, our ideal customer. They're watching 220 plus hours. So think of the ideal person. If you could literally put together a sculpture or just write out the characteristics of the person you'd like to see work out at your gym, if you could write those out and then show your content to them specifically every single day, do you think that would help bring in a few more of those people? We say it does. And results show that it does. So I'll get into the results side of things and what this really led to, but let's talk about the $1 million question. First, that's more than the first three combined, right? So if you add up Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, and The Office, that's literally more watch time than all of them. And that's probably in a shorter time span than you could watch them all. So again, it's not one person, but still we're getting 220 plus hours of content consumed. Each person, depending on their levels of interest, whether it's a couple minutes to, closer to an hour, depending on really how much content they want to consume of ours, regardless of the case, that is significantly more than anyone else in the industry in that region, right? So we're just going to win. But I'm sure you're, asking yourself, what does it cost, right? Like, I would love that, but how much is that going to cost me? Well, the mistake that a lot of business owners make is they always look at what does it cost, but they don't look at what it actually brings back. There is no cost if the return is positive. Obviously it depends on a couple different things, like, how much time you have to put into it and different stuff like that. But like, if the return is positive and significantly positive, you should figure out a way to execute that, right? So that you can have those positive returns and that you can scale that process up and, spend more to make more, right? It's just a simple, game of math. So let's just talk about how much it costs those Netflix shows. So Stranger Things, right? They have a little bit more of an expensive set. They're also newer. They do a lot of crazy stuff with After Effects and, have some serious actors in there. Regardless, it costs them about $7 million on average per episode. The first season, it was about 6 mil, 5-6 mil. Second season, it was closer to 8. So right around $7 million per episode. Their episodes are like 30, 40, 50 minutes long. And it costs them $7 million. Now they make their money, they're doing just fine. But like, that's how expensive it is for them to put out that content, right? Super, super expensive. Well, obviously for you, it doesn't cost that much, right? Like if you were to try to do what Stranger Things has done, like they've spent right around $120 million on episodes, just for 17 of them, right? And again, they're doing just fine. So how much did it cost us to put together that content? Well, first things first, it costs time and it costs energy, right? You have to do those things to be able to put together the content, right? It takes planning, strategy, things of those nature, right? Practice, stuff like that to put together this content, right? To have relevant content. But what is it worth on the back end, right? That's really what matters. So for us, and this client specifically, they spent a little over $1,000 on Facebook ads. And when I say a little bit over, I'm talking like in change. It's not like, a little over $1,000 and was actually like $1,400. Really, truly, it was like $1,030 up to that point. To get that kind of distribution on Facebook to their target market, right? Now, a lot of you as gym owners will be like, shit, that's a lot of money, right? I don't know if I could just fork over $1,000. Granted, that was over, over 2 months, 2.5 months. But still, like, that's a lot of money. I get that. Whether you're a small gym or a big gym, no one likes to just, throw away $1,000. Like, no one does. Not even the richest people in the world want to just see $1,000 burn, right? So what does that $1,000 bring you back outside of that, massive just engagement, awareness, etc.? So that $1,000 has turned into a couple different things, but let's just go in order. So 2,500 plus Facebook page, website, and landing page views. Now there's some complexity to that, and I understand that a lot of you guys won't understand certain aspects of this, but essentially we've had a ton of people visit our landing page where we are looking to collect their info, whether that be in contact info or even actually getting them to schedule a time with us directly. So besides all that, and I don't want to get into the complexities or kind of lose you there, maybe I'll do a separate video on that. What it really led to is 24 different signups. So about 50-50. Some of those were for straight up membership right off the bat. And then half of those were for an on-ramp program. And that on-ramp program is a higher price point. It has a couple of different personal training sessions, as long as some nutrition coaching, different stuff like that, and a couple free weeks of CrossFit. This is a CrossFit gym, right? So 24 signups to date. That is exact number. I actually have the screenshot and everything from the client to confirm all that stuff, analytically. Of those 24, 20 would still be considered remaining active members, right? They're still paying their monthly fees. They converted into monthly members, whether they did the on-ramp program first or just went straight into the membership. There are still a couple of those, like 4 remaining ones that kind of fell off. They still kind of work out, but they're just not active members. They just kind of do more drop-in stuff. So they're still getting returns on those other 4 people. But still, if you got 20 out of 24, nothing to complain about, because let's actually run the math on that. So like I said before, 224 hours is massive awareness and engagement. It significantly trumps any other business in the area, let alone any other gym, right? Like, they're just constantly in front of their ideal customer, and they've kind of stolen some people from neighboring gyms just because it's like, damn, this gym looks awesome. Like, the content they put out, like, they speak to me, they seem, I gotta try this place out. They've had a lot of people convert because of that. But strictly numbers speaking, that's over $4,000 in upfront returns of those 24 signups. Led to over $4,000 in upfront returns from the $1,000 spent, right? So basically what we did is we spent $1,000 to get back $4,000 upfront. Now on top of that, we have over $2,300 still added in EFT, right? Of people that converted into members that are consistently paying our membership fee. That's over $2,300 that they added to that. So let's say that they literally got no upfront return, but they just added these members, right? Like, just turning $1,000 into $2,300 in upfront members, like or not upfront, but month-to-month members. You would do that all day long. They just added $2,300 on a monthly basis, and their service and their product is so great that these members are staying. I think their average person stays like 6-7 months. So they're doing really well. Just they have a great community, a great culture, etc. And obviously that number will fluctuate as they continue to scale and just like higher volume and stuff like that. But still, like, that's just not 1 month. Like, these people are staying multiple months, so they, you can't even put that in perspective, because if it's $1,000 that you had to spend to get that $2,300 in added EFTs, and you get that amount for 6 months, now you turned $1,000 into $12,000. And then if you add the $4,000 in upfront returns you got, now you turned $1,000 into $16,000. And if we really are true and honest about like running classes, CrossFit, boutique, whatever the case may be, whether it's a spin class, whatever, it literally costs you no money to have an added person in class. If I was a ghost in every single one of your classes and you didn't know I was there, it wouldn't cost you anything more, right? I'm using equipment that like is going to get used anyways. Like, it costs you like literally nothing to have an added person in class. So that's literally just all return. It's crazy, but like, that's what you can do. Literally, if you know what you're doing, you know how to utilize like Facebook advertising and stuff like that, like, you know how to speak to your customer, you know where to send them to, like, this is the result that you can have for your business. It's just that simple. It's a game of math. So then it just depends on how much you want to spend and how much you want to get back. The last part of this is really this simple. Obviously, I love putting out these videos for you guys, but I really want to know, what would you prefer if, all things considered? Would you rather pay for someone to execute this process for you and get you results similar to these, or would you rather pay for a course or something like that where you could just learn it and do it yourself? I'm really curious to know, what would you prefer? Would you rather pay to learn it yourself and have someone on your team or yourself personally do it for your gym, or would you rather just pay to have someone do it for you and have it taken care of every single month? So let me know in the comments. I'm serious. Sincerely would mean the world to me if you could watch this video, made it this far, that you actually went ahead and commented and just gave me your perspective. I'm really looking for some feedback here, and just looking at different ways that I can help serve you guys and help you guys in your fitness journey for your gyms, and ultimately help you grow them so that you can make more difference in people's lives. So again, thank you so much for watching the video, but seriously, please, if you would comment, like, whatever, I would appreciate that a lot. So thank you again.